Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm continuing the Zodiac series. So today I'm going to be talking about the Zodiac sign Gemini, my twins, and you guys have been super on top of me about your video. Ever since Taurus season, I feel like I've been getting requests for Gemini. I have a lot of Gemini subscribers. I have a lot of Gemini clients. Like during Gemini season, I was booked, honey. I had a lot of birthdays. Y'all were living life, going out, and I didn't expect anything less from you guys. You guys really turned out for your birthday. There's so many famous Geminis. I just felt like my Instagram was just full of Gemini season, and it's actually comical how many DMs I received saying please be nice to the Geminis, please, you know, take it easy on us. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, I love Geminis. I think you guys definitely get a bad rep. Anytime anyone hears Gemini, they're running or they're saying how crazy you guys are, and yet they still can't get enough of you guys. Everyone loves to hate on Geminis, but I feel like everyone loves Geminis. They're just big haters, alright? So I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. Yes, I have two different color eyeshadows on because y'all are twins. You guys are the twins of the Zodiac, and I feel like a lot of people associate Geminis with being two-faced or having a double personality. I could see that in some Geminis, the whole two-faced thing, but instead of calling y'all two-faced, I would just describe you guys as having multiple personalities. Not two, more like 67. Every Gemini that I know has more than two personalities. It's not like good and evil. It's more like, what kind of day am I going to be having? Like, who do I feel like today? I feel like you guys change depending on who you're talking to. If someone treats you some kind of way, you're gonna change. You're gonna like kind of adapt to that situation. And so you're very like adaptable, and because you guys are air signs and very like go with the flow kind of people, I feel like people always feel like they're meeting different versions of you. And that can be a good and bad thing depending on the receiver, depending on the other person. It's kind of hard to keep up with a Gemini, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not the easiest sign, you know, to really get to know because you guys are just always switching up. But I personally find that super interesting, and a lot of people find it very interesting. Like, I feel like Geminis are like magnets. I personally have met two very distinct different types of Geminis. Like, obviously you guys have like the whole multiple personality kind of thing going on, but besides that, like, I know some Geminis who are super introverted, who, you know, would rather stay in, watch movies, that kind of Gemini. And then I know the like batshit crazy Gemini who loves to just be out and about. Gemini isn't a fixed sign, so I've seen like the introverted type of Gemini, you know, give in a little bit, be stubborn but not so stubborn like a Taurus. They'll actually like go out to the movies and like they'll do things if you ask them to, and if they're in the mood for that, and if they have money, like whatever, right? The introverted one can not be so introverted all the time, and I've seen the crazy Gemini also have their moments of, you know, going ghost. I have two very distinct different types of Geminis in my mind. I know actually quite a few Geminis, male and female, and one thing that I feel like they all have in common is that they're always in relationships. I don't know what it is, but I feel like a lot of people are attracted to Geminis. You guys are very attractive, always have your little style on point, you know, y'all like to shop, so you always have your little, you know, little swag. So I feel like people are attracted to Geminis, and you guys love to just be stimulated and just love to, you know, always have something new. You guys get bored so easily. I feel like Geminis can tend to be like serial relationship people, if that makes sense. People who jump from relationship to relationship. But I feel like also the female Geminis that I know are in it for the long haul. Like, usually when a female Gemini is in a relationship, like, it's a long one. It's like 4, 5, 6 years plus. So it's kind of that kind of thing. And then I know two different types of male Geminis. The one that can't keep it together, can't keep his, you know, self under control, and then the other type who is super committed and has been in a relationship for a really long time. My best friend who's a Sagittarius actually dates a Gemini, and it is one of the best relationships because it's always fun and it's always witty. That's the thing about you guys, is that you're very witty, very intelligent, very smart. I think you guys already know that. I think you guys are like self-proclaimed geniuses. I feel like anytime you talk to a Gemini, I feel like they like to boast about themselves and about their wit and their intelligence, and if they're not talking about it, they definitely know it. So because you guys are like that, it makes relationships fun because you always have something slick to say. It keeps the relationship young and fresh. So like I said, like, my best friend dates a Gemini, and I've known my best friend since kindergarten, and so I've known her boyfriend ever since high school. So pretty much have seen him throughout all those years, and he's the type of Gemini that doesn't express himself a lot. Like, he doesn't talk too much. much until you really get to know him. He's more of like an observer. He'll say like these like really slick but really creative sentences. Like he just keeps everything light and airy, like nothing too serious. He's definitely opinionated, but I know that because I know him. Like I've known him for quite a few years and he dates my best friend. But like when I first got to know him, I'm like, he's so quiet. He's so like, there's something creative about him, very artsy, but he just doesn't talk a lot. But now that I know him, like he definitely can get into like debates. You guys love to debate. Also, my other best friend dates a Gemini, and he's like the other type of Gemini that like is always talking. Geminis hate to be interrupted. That is one thing that I have definitely learned about Geminis, is that you guys cannot stand when someone is not listening to you, like fully listening. You guys hate it when someone interrupts you because it means that they're not listening to you, and that bothers you. You guys are ruled by the house of communication. You guys are ruled by planet Mercury. So that's why Mercury retrograde is always like such a crazy moment for everybody, because communication is messed up for a lot of people. Like words are misconstrued and people say things they don't mean, and a lot of things from the past come up, and Mercury retrograde is crazy because Mercury is the planet of communication. And so Geminis love communication, love to talk, but also make great listeners. And so because you guys make great listeners, when someone isn't listening to you, because this is the thing about you guys when you speak, it's with purpose. It's like you really want to get that point across. You're thinking about all this stuff and you want the other person to really get you. And so if they cut you off, forget it. You're gonna catch a huge fit. I've seen it so many times. It's funny for me to watch. I'm like the Scorpio on the side, just like laughing mischievously, like evil laugh in the back, because I think it's funny to watch people get so like worked up about something like that. You guys go crazy. It's kind of like intense. You guys really react really powerfully and really strongly, and you just hate the fact that someone is not listening to you, because you guys rule communication. You love communication, and so sometimes you guys could ramble. It's actually really funny, like watching a drunk Gemini ramble. It's pretty hilarious. Like you just get lost because they just start talking about I don't even know what. Like I've seen people in relationships with Geminis, and I've read conversations and texts from Geminis, and they're like this long, and I'm just like, what are they talking about for that long? And they'll just like continue to like, I don't know, try to dissect things. And for me, that's like, what? Especially like a male Gemini to be so vocal. So because your symbol is the twin, it is said that you guys are constantly looking for your other half in other people. Like I said, I feel like Geminis tend to jump from relationship to relationship. I personally have never met a single Gemini, like point blank. And if they are single, they're single for like a week, and then they're talking to someone, and then they're in a relationship in like 3 weeks. Like I don't know what it is about it, but you guys just like love to be in relationships, and you're always like looking for something new to like satisfy you and like stimulate you, because you guys love to be mentally stimulated. So I think it's really important for a Gemini to be with someone who's fun, who's witty. That's why you guys go great with fire signs, because like a Sagittarius, because they're so like hot and like spicy, and they're not like super smothering like water signs. Like I feel like a Gemini with a water sign could be quite tricky, especially like a Scorpio. I don't know how that would work, because Scorpios, you know, we really love hard and we hold on to things really, really hard. We don't want to let them go. Like our loyalty is like unmatched, I feel. Gemini with like Sagittarius, or even Gemini with a fellow air sign, Aquarius, could be great. Like just someone witty and someone fun who doesn't take life so serious. That's why I said water signs like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I don't know about that with a Gemini, because I feel like Geminis, they just want to have fun. They just want to, you know, constantly learn and evolve, and they want to grow. Like they're all about like themselves. It's not selfish. It's just, you know, caring about yourself and your growth as a person. And so because they want to be stimulated, I think they need someone who's going to be on that same page, like someone who's not going to be all about like emotions. And so I've seen actually a Gemini Pisces relationship, and that has been working. But again, I think still the Gemini wants more. They want, you know, fun and new. I know like Geminis get a bad rep for cheating, like being serial cheaters, but it's because you guys get bored. And maybe not the women, I don't know, maybe you guys can let me know, but I feel like especially the males, they like a challenge. They want to be challenged, and they like that whole chase, and so they kind of love to just like look around, and their eyes are always wandering. That's what I personally feel like. Again, not every Gemini is a cheater. It's just, there's a reason why you guys have that rep. I guess there have been a lot of Geminis who have broken hearts, but every Gemini woman that I've ever met, they don't get bored so much in their relationship. They get more bored in their careers. I've never heard of someone switching their hobbies or their passions or their careers as much as I've heard of Gemini doing that. Like literally my cousin, if you're watching this, hey girl, she like always has something new, like a new idea, and I find it really like fun. I find that really like cool. But you know what it is? You guys have really good luck with that. I know another Gemini, female Gemini, who has the best luck getting jobs. I've never seen something like that. First interview, she'll get the job like that. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. Yeah, she has great luck when it comes to getting jobs, because I think y'all really know what to say. I think it can be bad because you guys know how to kind of manipulate situations, but when you're using it for the good, like for, you know, jobs and getting jobs and stuff like that, I think it's awesome how witty and like clever you guys are and on the spot. Like you guys are very adaptable, and so when you are in an interview, like I feel like you guys really know what to say to get the job. And you get the job, and then when you're at the job you get bored of the job, and then you make little excuses like, oh, it's too far, oh, I don't like my coworkers, and then you switch jobs, and then all of a sudden you're in a whole different career, or maybe the same field but like a different position or a different location. Like y'all just always need to be stimulated and just new. I don't know how you guys don't get tired of that. I personally will get so tired of jumping from thing to thing, but I think that's what really keeps you guys happy and keeps you guys, you know, motivated and just feeling like you're growing and feeling like you're actually like getting somewhere in life. Because I feel like if you stay in one place, you feel like just you're too stagnant, you're like too complacent, and that bothers you big time. Geminis also love to gossip because you guys are great listeners, and so people are always telling you all of this stuff and you like to gossip, and that's why I think you guys get along with Taurus, because Taurus also loves to gossip. So a Taurus and a Gemini sitting in the same room is just gonna be like, oh my god, did I tell you what happened to my coworker? Oh, what? Like that's that kind of relationship or friendship or whatever. So I definitely have witnessed that two-faced side of a Gemini, because this is the thing. A Gemini will be super cool with you one day, Monday, but then Tuesday they realize that they don't really care for you that much. They go ghost, and then they're telling your business to somebody else. So you gotta be really careful with what you tell a Gemini, because depending on how they feel, they can use it against you or for you, and that's just the truth. I don't know. That's what I've really realized through all of the Geminis that I've known, male or female, all ages. Like I've witnessed a Gemini, I don't even know how old she is, she's in her 30s, still gossiping all the time. She knows all the juicy details, she knows all the facts of people's lives, and she will tell anyone. You guys just love to chat, and so my advice to you guys is to maybe take a step back sometimes and maybe learn from the other signs who are just a little bit more observant, who don't just like spew out everything. Maybe learn to just collect yourself a little bit more and not just ramble on about other people's lives, because it can hurt them, you know, if it comes back to them that you were like talking about it, because then people aren't going to trust you with all that information that they tend to tell you. So I don't know, just a little word of advice. If you don't gossip, then don't take it personal. I always get comments in these videos like, no, I would never do that. Like obviously this isn't, everyone is like this, you know, there's different traits in everyone. I'm just going based off what I've learned from Geminis, what I've read, what I've watched in videos, from books, and also just from my personal experience from kind of, you know, knowing that sign and like kind of, you know, adding the similarities between all of those people that I know. So y'all like to gossip. And another thing is that I realized is, not all, but I know a couple Geminis who love to cook. You guys are very thrifty with it, very creative. Like I know one Gemini who like is bomb at cooking, and she will chef you up like the weirdest concoctions, but it works. She'll cook up like a cheeseburger with frosted flakes wrapped up in bacon with a side of like, I don't know, barbecue sauce with like oregano on it. Like just like so creative. But yeah, I feel like Geminis like to cook, but I realized that they like to cook when they're in their own element. So when they're home alone. Actually, I had a client tell me that she likes to cook, a Gemini, but only when she's by herself. So I think you guys really value that me time, and that's when you finally let your creative juices flow. I mean, let's just put it this way. Kanye West is a Gemini. If one day you want to like start up a food truck and like start, you know, cooking food for people, like you're just gonna go ahead and do it. Well, sometimes you go ahead and do it. A developed Gemini will actually just go for it. An underdeveloped Gemini will let their anxiety and their nerves get to them, and they'll second guess themselves and like, you know, let their insecurities get to them, and they won't go for it, but they'll have all of the ideas. That's the thing also, like I feel like Geminis have great ideas for other people. Sometimes I feel like a Gemini feels like their purpose is to help other people, like to give them ideas for their careers, for whatever the case may be, but they don't personally go for it, but they like to tell other people to go for it. They like to encourage other people. There are a lot of famous Geminis, a lot of famous rapper Geminis, because lyrically Geminis are just on another level. Like the thoughts that go through your head and the just creative like flow that you guys have is unmatched. I mean, Tupac and Biggie are Geminis. Like how dope is that? And I just feel like people are so attracted to you because you're just like an overall great catch. people could talk all this crap because they've been hurt by a Gemini, but as like friends or, you know, as like celebrities, they're dope. The only Gemini that we gotta cancel, like we gotta remove from being a Gemini is Donald Trump. Like he's in his own category of I don't know what. Like let's just boo him out, alright? We're just gonna agree that he's not a Gemini because listen, alright? He needs to get cut out. I need all you Geminis to cancel him, but he is a Gemini and he is crazy as hell. Usually I'm just like going off like the top of my head, and I have been, but I felt like I needed to collect myself and like write everything down because you guys are like going 100 miles per hour at all times. Like you're this and you're that, and it's just like it can get really overwhelming for everybody else. So sometimes you can get anxiety from overworking. You guys work a lot. You're like workaholics. I know some Geminis who will pick up triple doubles, like they don't care. Why? Because they like to shop. Oh, let me tell you guys about your shopping. I know Geminis who have 2 jobs just to support themselves to buy clothes. But I just want to know, like, why are you so obsessed with like buying things? Like, I don't know, maybe it's to fill a void, I don't know, but every Gemini that I've met loves online shopping. You guys have a lot of stuff and it'll be like random things. Like I know a male Gemini who just buys a lot of like home decor. He would work overnights and it would be dangerous because he would just be buying random things for the house at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I know a female Gemini who just loves to online shop for clothes. Just a lot of it though. Like you already have 5 yellow shirts, girl. You don't need a 6th one. But y'all love to shop and I ain't mad at it, you know. It is what it is. But just, you know, learn to save your money a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, super creative, very analytical, smart, geniuses, witty. You like to be stimulated. A little bit conceited. Y'all think you're a little perfect sometimes. Like when you hear someone who's a Gemini talking about themselves, it's like kind of obnoxious. Kanye West, Scott Disick, I mean, they think they're perfect. They literally, even Donald Trump, literally people who like will speak on it like out loud, like always telling people how amazing they are and what they deserve. I feel like people who are overtly confident are actually like insecure inside, and so they use that like to fool other people. Like I feel like sometimes I want to just like slap Scott Disick, like who do you think you are, boy? You know, like it's just one of those, just like inside you're probably really miserable. I don't know, my opinion. But most Geminis though that I've met in person are like that. I think I'm talking about like the celebrity Geminis more so, because maybe they let their money and their fame get to them, that they kind of just take that whole genius thing to the next level, like I'm a god kind of thing. Like I don't know about all that. Anyway, they also tend to have a bad rep for lying. And in your defense, okay, because I know you guys are like, oh, here she goes with the lying. We're not lying. Okay, I know Geminis who lie quite a lot of white lies, and maybe it's to protect people, but you guys do tend to have like these little white lies. And again, I think it's just to keep up this persona that you have that's perfect. I think you guys are really hard on yourselves. Like it's okay not to be perfect and it's okay to mess up, so you don't have to lie to protect yourself, because actually in the end it's really hurting other people and it's hurting yourself. So yeah, you guys do tend to lie to protect people, and I feel like you're gonna get a different version of a Gemini depending on the situation, who they're talking to, who's around. So that makes you guys a little bit hard to trust. And I feel like Geminis will just go ghost on you. Like they'll be talking to you and then they just disappear for like 3 weeks, and usually it's because of like a relationship, and you're like, really? You guys are fun. You don't like dull conversations. You say slick comments underneath your breath. I feel like Geminis don't get slick with me because they know better, because I'm super slick right back. Scorpio will like sting you right back. But I've witnessed Geminis get real nasty with people, like, but like in a funny way. But like there's a truth to every joke. But I feel like Geminis always have some kind of joke on someone. It says here that Geminis rule the arms, the shoulders, hands, lungs, and nervous system. And it says you need to beware of diseases and accidents associated with the upper body as well as the nervous system. So like bronchitis. I don't know if you guys suffer from bronchitis, but that's something that is said about Geminis. It says Geminis are usually slender in build and of average height or slightly taller, and the body shape will almost invariably be somewhat thin with a short trunk and long limbs. The stance is normally erect, straight, and upright. It says the arms usually are slim and unusually lengthy. Now all you Geminis are gonna be measuring your arms to see if they're like abnormally long. I feel like Geminis love to play basketball, like the male Geminis. I don't know. Okay. There's also a tendency for Gemini individuals to swing their arms in a long sweeping motion when they walk, and Gemini features are finely chiseled with soft and pleasing proportions. The eyes are normally light in color. I do know some Geminis with lighter brown eyes and with extraordinarily dark and long lashes. This will frequently give the Gemini woman a somewhat feline appearance. I totally see that. And even the males females of this sign often possess eyelashes that would be the envy of any female. So I don't know, do you guys have long eyelashes? I can definitely see Geminis having feline features like their eyes. I feel like you guys definitely have like smaller angled eyes. Like they get smaller when you smile. And I feel like you guys have really nice bone structures, like high cheekbones and very like angled faces and very like clear complexions. I also feel like you guys like to dye your hair. Maybe it goes with the whole you like change and you like switching things up. But I feel like Geminis tend to dye their hair a lot and just always switch up their style. Like you'll change like twice in a day. Like you guys always look nice, always look well put together. Some famous Geminis, we have Angelina Jolie, Johnny Depp, Marilyn Monroe, JFK. We got Morgan Freeman, Tupac Shakur. So that pretty much sums up Geminis. I mean, obviously there's so much more to you, but this is what I've accumulated from knowing Geminis. Let me know what you guys think about Geminis. If you're dating one, if you're married to one, or if you are one, let me know. I just know that you guys are bomb. You guys are fun. I'm so sorry that this video was late. This look definitely reminds me of like Harley Quinn. Totally gives me Joker vibes. All the Gemini women I know aren't really into makeup. Like they like wearing makeup, but they, you know, keep it neutral, keep it basic. Like sometimes do like a bold lip, like very simple. Nothing crazy with the eyeshadow. But that's just like the Geminis that I know. I'm not saying that all Geminis aren't into makeup. I think I said that about Aries too, and I got so many comments like, no, I'm an Aries and I love makeup. Like obviously it's a makeup channel, so if you're watching this and you're a Gemini, you probably love makeup. The Geminis that I know rather buy like outfits and do like simple makeup, but I wanted to do something kind of out of the box for you guys. Even though I feel like you guys would never wear something like this, it's just way too crazy, but I just wanted to do the whole like twins, like something opposite of each other. So I wanted to do two different toned eyes. I love how it came out. I hope you guys do too. So let me know what you guys think, and let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and get started with concealing the brows, and I'm using the Nars Custard Soft Matte Concealer with the Dose of Colors concealer brush, and I'm also using that as my eyeshadow base, and I'm going to go ahead and set that with a white eyeshadow. And then for the palette, I'm going to be using the Suva Cupcakes and Monsters palette. I went ahead and used this really bright pink and purple. It looks a lot brighter in person. The camera was kind of washing it out. And I'm also using this like teal color from that same Suva Beauty palette. And I'm using a ColourPop brush. And then I switched over to a Wayne Goss brush, a little bit smaller with those same shades just to put into the crease. You can obviously do any colors, but I decided to do like a pink and a like minty teal. I'm also concealing my lid just so that the lid color can pop a little bit more, and then I'm going to set that with the same white shadow, and that is from the Suva Beauty palette as well. I'm applying some Makeup Forever mascara, and then for my primer I'm using the Melanie Mills Sandra Deluxe Peach Deluxe. This is like a body radiance, but I like using it as a primer. So I'm just blending that in, and then I popped on some Ardell 231 lashes. I love these. For foundation, I'm testing out this new Dior Face and Body Foundation in 3W, and I'm just using my beauty blender. It was a little bit too dark for me, but I made it work with this concealer. So this is Tarte Shape Tape in a light shade, and I'm just going to blend that out. The foundation looks really, really pretty, but I just think I need to get a different color. This is more like my summer shade. So I'm just blending my concealer out, and then I'm setting it with the Maybelline Loose Translucent Powder in number 5. For cream contour, I'm using the AJ Crimson number 3 cream foundation. I first used a Smith brush to blend it out, and then I just blended it with my beauty blender, and I'm setting the rest of my face with the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder, and I'm also kind of wiping away a little bit of that Maybelline powder. For my brows, I'm using the Kat Von D Light Brown Pomade, and I'm just doing my brows like usual, like normal. And I'm using this MAC angled brush, which has been my favorite for my brows. I really, really love it. And then I'm just wiping away that Maybelline powder. This one's really, really bright. The 05 shade is very, very bright. Here I'm using this Lord & Berry Nude Eyeliner in my waterline. And then I'm going to use the white shade from the Suva Beauty palette in my inner corners. I'm just touching up the lid and also on my brow bone. A little bit of MAC Extended Play Giga Black Mascara on my bottom lashes. And then here I'm going to contour my nose, and I'm using the Benefit Hoola Light Bronzer. And I'm using a Dose of Colors shader brush. For my lips, I used MAC Strip Down. I love this lip pencil. It's so small. I need a new one. And then for my lip gloss, I used a Pat McGrath lip gloss in, I think it's called Bare Attraction. I'll have it down below. I took out the Huda Beauty palette, the original, and just used the pink. And then here I'm just using MAC Dark Golden just to set that cream contour. For my brows, I also use the Kat Von D pencil in light brown and the Kat Von D brow powder in medium brown. a lot of brow products. Here I'm just using Give Me Sun and some highlight. First I went in with Mirabella Swirling Pearl. Here I'm using a black eyeshadow wet just to kind of track my liner, and then I'm using the Nars Bord de Plague highlight palette. I'm curling my lashes so that they can just stand up a little bit more and give me like a little eye lift. And then I'm just applying a Makeup Forever pigment in my inner corners and on my nose, and then I'm just setting my brows. And that is pretty much the entire look. No lipstick, just lip gloss liner and 2 different color eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I love how it came out. Let me know what you think, or if you recreate this look. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Mwah.